Good morning. Hello. Check, check. Millie's mic check. Hello, good morning. Hello and welcome. Good morning, good morning. What's up? Hello. Hey, Jenny. Hey, Savannah. What's up, Brad? Good to see you, my friends. What's up? Hello, welcome to the pre-show. Good morning, Nat Grace. Nat Grace Spencer. Hey, Kendra. Good morning. Hello, check, check. Boy, do we have a show for you today. Good morning. All right. Want to walk under that? Hello, hello. Hey, Josh. Haven't seen you around. Hope your travels are going well. Good morning. What's up, Ace of Clubs? There's water in my beard.
Corpus Christi, Texas.
All right. Good morning. Corpus Christi. The
Our
body
son
of
is
Christ.
obsessed with Texas.
Who, Tuff?
Yeah.
Because of Dude Perfect?
Yeah.
Hashtag Dude Perfect. What's up, Brittany? Good morning. All right. Let's do this thing. Ace of Clubs. Ace of Clubs golf. Golf clubs. Get it?
I do get it.
I'm sure they do too. I'm around. Just can't get on here too often. Well, we're glad to have you with us.
You're here now.
Mis
Okay.
amigo.
Check, check, check. Okay.
Test. Hello, hello.
I think we're good.
Pre-show, welcome. Thanks for joining. I love it when you guys join. I like seeing all the
I
little
have to
eyes.
ask, was that Starbucks glass ever full of iced coffee? Because that would be awesome. This,
No,
I would die.
it's full of water.
It would have to be decaf.
Yeah, that's true.
I just fall over. Okay, my hair looks like it's doing something real ridiculous. Should I change it?
No, we're already live.
It
Let's
looks
go.
silly.
Too late. Don't look silly.
You can't help it. Oh, here we go. We'll get a slice hanging down.
That's good.
There we go.
No, it's red.
I don't know what it's doing. But
Finally, it's red.
Finally, it's red. Okay.
Finally, it looks nice.
Oh.
Ready?
Hold on, let me do this. Disable for an hour. No thanks.
What are you disabling?
The flux.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right.
Here we go.
What?
Nothing. Okay.
Oh.
All right, let's do this.
All right. Hello and welcome to the Anatomy of Marriage podcast. I'm your host, Melanie Studley.
Good morning. My name is Seth Studley. I am a licensed marriage and family therapist, and today is day 51, titled "What I Wished I Knew in Dating: Another Chore Conversation and Fun Things to Do with Your Spouse."
If you're new here, welcome. We have over 260 shows about all things relationship and marriage related. We're here because we love you, and we love you so much, in fact, that we had a sponsorship from Audible because we want to get you a free audiobook. So go to audibletrial.com/anatomy of marriage to get your free audiobook on us. Go do that. Seriously, it's amazing.
For real. Right now, I don't think I've talked about this recently. I am reading a book called Sovereignty by an author named Ryan Mickler, who also does the Order of Man podcast. And he was on our show in season 1 and talked about his journey of
Season
change.
2?
Well, he was on the show, and what am I saying? And the book is titled Sovereignty, and it is awesome. It is really good and really helpful. It's for men. So, husbands, read it. Wives,
It's like
get
the
your
man
husbands to read it.
version of me. Like a redhead dude.
Yeah. Okay.
And every day we read a review of the day, but we didn't have one today.
No, I did.
Oh,
I got
I
one
was
today.
so excited about what I had put.
Well, we read that
It was
yesterday.
just 5 points for Gryffindor.
5 points for the House of Studley. Okay, I'm going to read. This comes from Miss Sydney Wilson. 5 stars, just what I needed. Seth and Melanie are amazing for sharing their struggles. Hearing about how they have worked through their hard times, along with Seth's therapy knowledge, has been so invaluable for me. I first heard of this podcast on the Real Life podcast by Jeff and Alyssa Bethke.
What up?
What up, Jeff and Alyssa? And I could not stop listening once I downloaded all the episodes. Most people just skim surface level topics and don't really get gritty and honest, but this is not the case with the AOM podcast, and I'm here for it. I've told all my friends about this podcast and literally get excited every Thursday when new episodes come out. I'll keep it up. Keep it up, guys. You guys are doing awesome things. We'd love for you to come to Oklahoma for an event. Ooh.
Oh.
I'd go to Oklahoma.
That must be an old review. Every
yeah,
Tuesday.
it is. Because guess what? We
daily,
have
y'all.
shows daily.
Thank you for that review. And Jeff and Alyssa are rad. We hung out with them in Maui.
That's
whatever.
right. Hey, Leslie.
I
Bohemian
feel
Brose.
cool. But I wanted to say, yes, that is the reason we made this podcast, is that we needed a resource that was gritty when we were going through the hardest part of our marriage. So that's why we made this show, because we were like, everything else felt, and I'm not trying to diss anybody and their work, but like everything else felt like, oh, here's how you make your marriage happier once it's already just decently happy. But ours was like, our marriage is really ridiculously terrible. I need a resource for that. And so that's why we made our show. So yes, tell all your friends with their terrible marriages to come check out our show. Just kidding.
All right, let's see. Oh, hello, studs. Hello. Funny. Hello. Okay, we're going to dive right into it.
It was nice chatting with you yesterday, Leslie.
All right, here we go. Hello, Seth and Melanie. Thank you for all you do. I love your podcast. I love all the topics you guys talk about. I am 27 and single. Your podcast really opens up my eyes on what married life looks like. Learning on how we can have intentional, meaningful, healthy relationships in our lives is so important. I wish this podcast was around in my earlier 20s. I would have been set up for life. Well, maybe not for life, but it would have helped.
That.
Probably. I like it. My question is, how should Christians go about dating? I grew up in purity culture. My old church had their own opinion about how a man and women should date, and they called it courting, which is I'm not really a fan of. Let's see. And then there's secular culture point of view of dating. I'm not sure I'm hitting on the head there either. I don't really understand. The concept to date someone just because you're bored or lonely doesn't make sense. I feel confused, frustrated, and wondering, is there another way? Maybe my question is really more about how I should date with good intention. This is an area in my life. It's hard for me to trust in God, finding a life partner. I don't know if churches is God's only way. How to seek relationships. I would love your thoughts and opinion. Let it rip, guys.
Let it rip.
All right. And it says if you're ever in Denver, I'll be the first to buy you guys a coffee or some excellent beer. All right.
Denver
I
is
will
awesome.
take your invitation. So, okay, let's talk about this. Purity culture, we know, has been really damaging. And also, I'm not going to say that probably people were helped out during that too. I know for our personal thing, like I dated a lady.
Our personal thing? Our dating relationship?
Yeah, like I dated a lady like 5 years before Melanie, right? And then dated other people and blah blah.
So did I. Just kidding.
So did, well, I don't know if you want to talk about that, sure. Anyway.
I just thought that was funny to say.
That is funny. And on our very first date, I had known Melanie for a year. We worked together at Starbucks, which is being torn down, which I'm...
The Buckstones.
The Buckstones.
We're trying to get the furniture of Starbucks, but stay focused, please.
Okay. You're talking about furniture.
You dated someone for 5 years. We worked together at Starbucks.
And then we worked together for about a year, and I liked her. We kept it cool, and it was just normal, right? And then on our very actual first date, we walked to a park and sat on a log, and I said, hey, I don't want to date you if this may not lead to marriage. And it wasn't like a purity culture thing. It wasn't a courting or whatever goofy church thing. It was like, hey, I don't want to waste time, so I kind of don't want to date if we're not going to maybe get married.
Yeah,
right?
We basically agreed. If this doesn't lead to marriage, let's not even do it. Like, let's just not waste our time with it.
Yeah, because I thought it was a waste of time, and I don't want to waste time. And I had written I thought about this for a long time. I had written out an actual list of things that I want in a partner. What would be a good fit for me? What would be helpful for me? How could I help my future partner? And made a list. And you fit all that list. Yeah.
That's great. Good story. I would like to talk about for a second what
being rude wasn't on the list.
What dating was when we were dating. So we've been married for almost 15 years. It will be 15 years in August. Mm-hmm. August 7th if you want to send us an anniversary gift.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew it.
But it'll be 15 years in August. And when we were dating, there wasn't like dating apps and all the crap that there is today.
Bye, Leslie.
And I think, see you later, Leslie. So there wasn't dating apps. There wasn't all the stuff that's available to couples today or to people today.
Right.
So I genuinely think in the 15 years since you and I have been married and together, the concept of how young people date, or even, I mean, not necessarily young people, just how people date, is like disappeared.
It has.
The reason that people date is like, well, why would I? I can stay single forever. Yeah, you can always also wear diapers till you're 100.
So
but
you're equating singleness with wearing diapers?
I think it's a perpetual immature. I'm not saying people who can't get a girlfriend or boyfriend are immature, but I think the way that people approach it is very like, I want to say childish. It's going to sound harsh to say it that way, but I want to say, don't interrupt me, please.
It is very consumeristic.
Thank you for interrupting me when I asked you not to. Yes, it's consumeristic. It's consumerist in its nature, I would say. Because people are saying to themselves, well, what do I get out of dating? That's not why we date people, okay? So this is, I was thinking about this the other day and I didn't get to speak on it because it just didn't come up. But we started dating because we had, like when we would work together, and I had a boyfriend at this time. When we would work together, we would I would see that Seth was on the schedule and I'd be like, yes, I get to hang out with that guy today. It's going to be so fun.
She would flirt with me while she had a boyfriend.
Could you stay serious? Like you would do the same. Like we were friends. We wanted to be friends.
Yes.
Like that was it was like we were friends that were in love, essentially, right? And so think of it that way. If you have a friend that you fall in love with, date them, right? Not if they're dating someone. Don't be a jerk. But well, I mean, I was dating someone. Be a jerk. Does that make sense when I say it that way?
Yeah, I like that point, actually.
And so I think that people genuinely don't understand what dating is for. It's not, not for why dating exists. It's not to get something. I don't date Seth or marry Seth so I can get his paycheck and like maybe his amazing car. His
Toyota
hatchback. No, I was thinking of Speedy. Your Honda? Was it a Honda Civic hatchback? I mean, I don't date him to get something. I date him because it's like there's like my heart has a space the shape of Seth and he fills that space up, right? I'm not incomplete without him. But he rounds out that picture and I wanted that in my life. And same for him. It wasn't like you had to twist his arm to date me. He wanted to date me. And so we sought one another in that.
Can I say something? I think that I think that it's difficult right now, and it has been historically, for people to date of like, oh, I gotta court or be intentional, and like my intention is honorable with you, and all this stuff, right? Was that your idea, or was that something that was like put on you, right?
Were you mad at this guy?
No, I'm not mad at this guy. I'm mad at like people asking that. Like, whose idea was this? Oh, I got to do this.
To court?
I have to court and do this. No, I think the answer is, okay, just like you said, okay, I have this interest, this interest, this interest. I know myself. I know my identity, whatever that is, and I want to be with someone else. I want to, you see what I'm saying? Like, I think the whole courting and like being intentional is like, I'm not full unless I have, you know, the perfect wife or husband, and I'm not...
well, do you know much about courting?
Sorta, not really.
I read Joshua Harris's I Kiss Dating Goodbye when I was like 18 or 19. I must have been 19.
Right.
And I was like, whatever, take it or leave it, I don't care.
Right.
But it's essentially like, I just imagine like weird... I'm not even going to say what I'm imagining, but it's funny. So what I think of is when you're courting, hey, look, bro, you got to leave the screen alone. You are so all over the map. Will you be with me in this moment?
You're right, yes.
Please be with me. Stop waving at people.
All right.
I love you. So one of the things that I think courtship espouses is this idea that like two pure, holy, untouched, virgin... You know, I think of like Aryan Nation for some reason.
What?
I think of like a creepy, like Children of the Corn vibe.
Oh, like okay.
Like that, like I don't. Maybe I'm using that incorrectly, but I think of like that's what what Western Christian culture has said. Like courting is what blonde people do.
Oh, right. Okay.
Like these holy saints that glow. But the whole concept is that they like look at each other's eyes and they know that the Lord has given them a spouse for life.
Right.
Which is horrendously wrong and not truthful for what actually happens in a marriage.
Yes.
Like, if you took courtship and then you threw, like, Okay, what's it going to look like after being married for 7 years? Okay, throw like a dirty diarrhea-filled diaper at somebody. Have a kid screaming over there. Have a medical bill you can't pay. Have a leaky faucet. Are you holy now?
Nope.
Like courting does
Your
not...
wallet is holy.
Yeah, right. Courting does not actually have anything to do with real life.
Right.
I'm not dissing people who like the concept. Like it all you want. I do not care. If it works for you, do it. But I think it's incredibly damaging. I mean, purity culture is incredibly damaging.
Mm-hmm.
We are not pure. Like, I mean, we can be good people, but pure is definitely not what we are. It's just as humans.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's really, really, really damaging when we look across a room and we go, oh, look, it's Saint Seth. We can have the holiest matrimony of all holy matrimonies.
Right.
Like, no, you're humans.
Right.
If you don't like that person and you don't have common interests or common goals in life, if you don't want to grow as a person with that person, then don't ever date them.
It's like
never
this.
date them.
It's like having that same expectation of marriage and then going into a retail job and thinking, okay, I'm going to work this cash register and every customer is going to be happy with my service.
Yeah.
I'm going to like refund everything appropriately and all the computers will work and it'll just be perfect, right? I'll be in retail customer service heaven. And that's just a stupid idea.
One customer walks in and you hate your life.
I know, you're like, what the F, right? Yeah. And then so let's look at it clearly here. I think just learning to lay out our expectations up front would be huge. Seems like it takes some couples years just to figure that out.
Yes, that they don't want or need it. Yes, that's a huge thing.
That is exact.
I feel like dating is now more like shopping for the perfect mate on multiple apps. Oh, that's a good one too.
That's
yeah,
a good
so
analogy.
These two things. Yes, dating is not about consuming another human soul to make you happy.
Yeah.
Right? That's not what dating is. So I would say to this person who says, like, I don't understand dating, I'm confused by it. Like, the secular version of dating is like, shopping at Walmart. Endless aisles, just like run your arm over it all, put it all in the cart, right? But then the Christian culture of dating is like, what could you even equate it to? Like picking the right Bible at the Christian bookstore. Like,
Yeah.
it's not gonna, I don't know how to say that. I don't want to.
Or anything. It's hard for us to not be.
I'm not
goofy
trying to
about
put
it,
it
but-
down. I just think that the concept of it is so weird because it's like nowhere in the culture of courting does it say things like, do you work well together as a team? Do you encourage one another? Like, when stuff gets hard, do you know how to lift the other one up and get them through the hard stuff? Like, there's just no reality in courting.
Mm-hmm.
There's also no reality in secular culture dating or like worldly whatever, like
Yeah.
flipping through multiple. Did you just fart?
No.
Yes, you did.
No, I did not. Are you kidding me? What is this? Meat sound task?
It was
Me?
It was funny.
Oh my.
Anyway.
gosh. Okay. So
That was
Christian
so
dating
funny.
would be more aligned with seeing if you're compatible, and your values really align enough to work through a lifetime together. Yeah, you have to have similar values on anything, not just in a Christian thing. It's like, oh, okay, I'm vegan and she only eats meat. That's different values, right? I'm lazy and like to play video games. She's a solid, crazy hard worker that never watches TV or relaxes. Those are different values, so that's not going to work. It doesn't matter if it's, how about this? It doesn't matter if it's Christian, non-Christian. Let's not polarize it that way. Let's just say same values, not same values.
Yeah,
know what
someone
I'm
also wrote, but also don't you dare touch any other item in the grocery store. Know exactly what you want without trying any. I think that's a really great concept. And one of the things that hardcore Christians are immediately going to think of sex, and
Right.
that's not what we're talking about. But here's what I think. Like, when you learn to ride a bike, and you're what? How old were you when you learned to ride a bike?
I don't know, 6 or
Yeah, so
something.
I think I was like 7. I was a little bit older. So let's say, I learned to ride a bike. You can never ride a different bike for the rest of your life because the 7-year-old bike that you rode is holy. It's a holy sainthood bike. Like, it doesn't make any sense. You use different bikes as you grow,
Right.
as you change. Maybe I love like mountain biking. I need a bike for mountain biking, right? Like, it's silly to think that that sort of like purity mindset is like, yep, that one forever.
Yeah,
Like,
so-
it's not great and helpful.
I don't know if this helps out the listener because like I'm confused, frustrated, and wondering is there another way. We haven't really given you another way. Because,
Well-
how about this? There isn't a one single way, right?
Yeah.
Be smart. Don't be flippant. Like, everything is permissible. Not everything is beneficial. Don't date 100 women, sleep with them all, and be like, oh, I don't know what's going on. That's dumb, right? That's not good. And so, what are your values? how do you want to act in a dating relationship, and look for a person that way. And what you're looking for, you'll find. If you're looking for somebody like, I don't know. Well, let's see. How could that relate to dating? What you focus on expands. Oh, is this the perfect person? Well, no, they're not going to be. They're going to find something. You're going to always find something.
Are you the perfect person?
Right. Boom, baby.
Someone wrote, you can't take a bite out of every fruit in the produce aisle and put it back.
That's true.
That's really funny. Yeah, and that is definitely not what we mean. We're not saying like sleep around and that kind of deal. But I would say too, and along with what you were saying, the idea that, wait, what did you just say? You were saying... Oh, yeah. So in terms of how to find a partner, I would say, I mean, this isn't foolproof or whatever, but get in community where people are doing things that you enjoy. That could be joining a rock climbing group, a church group, have a job where people are like-minded the way that you are. That's how we met. A lot of people, like my sister met her husband at their college where they worked in the same cafeteria or whatever. There's proximity matters. So get in real relationships, be a real human speaking to another human in a space doing something that you enjoy.
Right.
I would highly recommend not doing that online. Not saying that online stuff doesn't work, but the more we assimilate our brains to that online media dating world, the more likely we're going to treat it like flipping through a catalog, right? So be in the real world is all I would say.
I agree.
Thanks for the question.
Okay, is it wrong? Geez, sorry. Here, you read
this is the end of a really long email that we got. So, and it was in the it was in our thing. But so,
hey, tearing it up. Hey, 5 stars Gryffindor. I'll wave at you.
5 stars to Gryffindor. 5 points. Is it wrong for me to feel like housework should be done equally between the husband and the wife? We both work full-time jobs. When I get home, it's workout, dinner, bath time, bedtime routine, then maybe 30 minutes of mommy time before my husband gets home. At 9:30 or 10. His days off are the best days for chores to get done. I'm not trying to take advantage of him, but I can see how that may be happening. How do I change my expectations of what he does? How do I show him that I'm thankful for his work? How do I say thank you, I do say thank you, but it seems like he wants me to jump up and down and bow at his feet because he cleans something. That's just not my thing. Why isn't it simple? Why isn't a simple thank you, I appreciate you doing XYZ enough? He is very much a words of affirmation and physical touch guy, and I'm the complete opposite. He doesn't think I'm like He doesn't thank me like crazy when I go to the store and do whatever, but I guess I just don't know how to show him my appreciation in a way that matters to him. I do love my husband, and I'm so grateful for the things that he does around the house. I just don't know if this is a problem that he's doing a lot of chores, or the problem is that I don't show him enough gratitude. So again, this was like the bottom half of a giant email that was talking about like her husband. Basically, it's the fight of like, why do all of the responsibilities of like mopping the floor, cleaning a toilet, folding laundry fall onto the woman, and then it's like a perpetual fight for the husband to actually join in that. So we're gonna have a real-time combo about it because I think that so many people fall into this pattern, and I agree with that. It's like, like you would do that too, where you'd be like, hey, look, I did the laundry. And I'm like, great, I've done it for 15 freaking years. What, pat me on the back, would you? Like, it's so freaking annoying. I can't even tell you how annoying it is when, like, a dude does one thing and then wants you to, like, clap. And it's like, I zero care. I did that every day for the last 13 years. Great. So let's have a conversation about it. And I'm not trying to attack you. Men, I'm not trying to attack you. Some men do laundry all the time and do chores more than the woman does. But this is a thing that I see a lot, especially in the women's group and especially with women I know. So let's talk.
Go for it.
Real time.
Okay, go.
It's all you.
Go.
You go.
Oh my gosh. Let's see. Okay, so perspective. I don't think that it is fair to... Yeah, this is a great question, and it's probably something that we'll talk about forever.
You don't have much to say.
No, I do. I'm just trying to formulate my thoughts here. So yeah, it's not fair to say, oh, okay, the house, well, that's your job, right? It's just not fair. And sometimes it makes sense if the mom has, or the wife works at stay at home, her job is stay at home, right? That makes sense that you do that because I'll be gone working, and so that makes sense. But you work, and so it's just, I don't know, I guess it's unlearning, especially this comes from family of origin and cultural stuff, unlearning like traditionally what women's roles were, what men's roles were, and let's just look at it. Okay, what makes sense? When we were first having kids, I worked outside of the home You didn't, right?
I worked in the home. I worked my butt off
I'm sorry.
with 2 tiny children.
So how about this?
I worked 24 hours a day nonstop with no breaks. I couldn't get
So
in a
you
car
did-
and
right.
drink a latte on my way to work.
So okay, obviously you have feelings about it, but that's not fair because working outside of the house is doing like, okay, how do you make a house work? All the components. You need money. You need somebody to stay with the kids. You need a vacuum to sweep the floors. All this stuff, right? So it's like, okay, I'm taking care of one component of that pie. You were taking care of the other one, right?
Component of a pie.
Slice.
I like component.
Slice of a pie. So maybe this served a real purpose when you had little baby kids, right? Because women biologically have kids and they take care of the kids, right?
Sure.
What do you mean sure?
Yeah, sure.
They do.
Not all women are stay at home with their children, though.
I know, I'm not saying that. But so maybe it would be more helpful if we look at it like a pie, right?
Yes.
Okay, so how many slices do you have the ability to do and take care of, husband? How many slices do you have the ability to do and take care of? Okay, sometimes my ability is 8, right? While yours is 2. Okay, you just had a kid, whatever. And vice versa. Oh, one of the partners are in grad school and they're trying to work too. They can't do housework because they have to read every single second. They have to do stuff every single second. So guess what? Now you have 8, I have 2. So this is always fluctuating. Right now, I don't know. How many do we have? 5 and 5?
Sure. 10 slice pie?
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, I don't know.
So is it more helpful to look at it that way? Not like, oh, a culture and this and this and this.
No, I'm not interested in slices of pie. I'm interested in laundry being put away. Like, I think it's too vague for people. I think people will be like, oh yeah, I carry my own slice. What? Like, no, we need actual clear expectations. We need a list of what needs to be done. And I think we need to, as a couple, sit down across from one another. No phones, no computers, no distractions, no kids. I wouldn't necessarily do this out on a date, but you could, like at a restaurant, and have a plan and talk about what do we do that isn't helpful? What do we do that's not making this work well? Like, how can we say, this is how this makes me feel when, because like you said, well, I worked out of the home. I was a mom to a newborn and a 15-month-old. There is nothing hard. I mean, there's stuff harder than that, but it's pretty freaking hard.
Right.
You're nothing but carrying children all the time. They're crying, they're fighting, they're crapping, they're eating, they're making a mess, and it's perpetual. And I don't think you understood when you drove off in your car every day it would have been 1,000 times easier for me to get an office job and be like, see you later, kids, have a nanny, right? But I don't think men sit long enough, not just men. I'm not trying to bash men here, but we need to have that conversation where we sit long enough with attention of that. People don't like to think about the things that are uncomfortable, but we need to think about this stuff because this is what tears marriages apart.
Right.
Stupid stuff like, you don't put the laundry away. Why do I have to be the only one to scrub the pee off the toilet, right? And for example, like there's always pee on the toilet of our thing, and I'm like, me and my daughter can't even pee there. We can't even make pee go there. You and your boys should clean it.
My boys.
Our boys. But anyone with
Your kids.
with a utensil that can shoot pee that way
A utensil?
should be cleaning it. Right? But when you're not doing that,
right,
and you're leaving it for me to do, and you're not teaching our boys to do it, then they won't learn, and they'll perpetuate all of this stuff in their relationships.
Yeah. So it's something that you have to be aware of, right? Let's see. It's cultural. This is so real and true. Going away to work versus staying at home is 10,000 times easier.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Hey Lily, good morning.
It really is. It's like, and I think that this is the conversation that men and women aren't having until it's like to a boiling point. And usually the woman is like, I am so freaking exhausted.
Right.
I cannot do this anymore. And the man's like, what? I support you. Like, it just becomes this stupid, no one's actually talking about the truth of it, and no one's addressing it before the S hits the fan.
So how do we help our listeners move through that?
I think it's a series of conversations that have to be done really lovingly together. It's what are we doing wrong as a couple? Not who's to blame. That's not that. It's we, a couple, us. What are we doing that isn't helpful? So there might be included in that a list of the things that, like, when you leave, when you don't actually fold the laundry. Because earlier in this email, she says, my husband gets distracted when he's playing video games and doesn't finish the laundry. So here's the thing. we turn the video game off. We set a timer for 30 minutes or whatever that looks like. And your husband no longer has the excuse that I got distracted with video games. Like, it's stuff like that. You got to bring tangible stuff and pop it right in there and do it now. And there no like theoretical, yeah, we'll all get better at it. No, you won't. You play your video game like you always do. Turn it off and set a timer. And then when it's done, you may turn your game back on. And that's called becoming an adult.
Right.
Right? I think a lot of times in relationships, there's especially around chores, there's the adult, and then there's like the semi-almost adult kid human. It's not always the man, but sometimes it is. Because culturally, men are taught, I go off to work, and my wife puts my dirty boots away when I get home, and dinner is whatever. Like, that, it sounds silly and it sounds old-fashioned, but I think it's still really pervasive in lots and lots of homes. So there needs to be a conversation about what is not working, what is not sustainable long-term, what makes me feel bad, what would make me feel good if you said, oh, I'm going to set a timer, turn my game off, turn my phone off for 30 minutes a day. You know how much you could get done in 30 focused minutes a day? Like, how stupidly easy is that?
Yeah.
30 minutes, that's it. 15 would be all you need if you started that pattern, because then the house wouldn't be a wreck all the time. And Marie Kondo everything. Get rid of stuff. Just stop owning things.
So I hope, let's see, I'm always amazed at how little I can get done being a work from home dad. Yeah, with kids trying to do stuff. It's ridiculous. Somebody says chore list. Yeah.
Yes.
Make it simple, chore list. Eric says,
just be fair.
Just be fair. And I say, do this
time. You do it next time.
Yeah. That's
every couple's got to have their own method of how to make this work and what is going to work for them. But again, expectations, what isn't working, what would be helpful. And no one can put the weight of everything on somebody else. I think that's really important.
Somebody says communication really helps too. When the husband tells the wife when he will get to something, but if it's not right away. After this 30-minute timer, this is my thing. I've written it down.
We do that all the time, actually, on the weekends now. We'll be like, what is your objective for this day? What are you trying to get done today? So that I can know, like, oh, he wants to take a run, or he wants to go to the store and get shoes, or whatever it is. Like, if I know what he's doing, it helps me to manage the rest of my day as well, and vice versa. So, yes.
And you're working as a team. So, okay, last question, guys. Let's see. Oh, should we do this last question?
Yes.
It's 28 minutes. Okay. What are some board games, card games that you guys like to play with your husband? Trying to cut back on Netflix binging. I'm especially looking for things we could pick up and play at home, just the two of us.
Let's put that down. That's that question.
Okay. So this question's fun. And so there's this one game called Bananagrams, and that one's really fun. It's kind of like Scrabble, but with a banana. No, that's a lot of fun. It's cheap. It's like, I don't know, $15 or $16. Maybe I might be wrong.
We like to play with our kids, and we play Spot It a lot, which is really fun.
Spot It is fun.
It's
and
super fun.
When we were in Hawaii with Jeff and Alyssa Bethke, we played Blockus at their house, I think. And we got that when we came back. Yeah. And that was really fun. It's super easy. It's super simple. And then also, we have... What's the card game that we play sometimes at the
21?
Well, yeah, 21
Blackjack
or Blackjack, yeah, together. But then you busted it out at the sushi restaurant one time.
I don't know.
What game was that?
We play Spot It at the sushi restaurant.
Yeah, I know. But
let me tell you a trick. I started packing in our van. I keep Spot It. Sometimes the kids will take it out and I'll forget to put it back in. But like, I keep dominoes, Spot It, a deck of cards, several decks of cards, because I love to play solitaire.
Uno is good.
Uno, yeah.
I play Uno with my kids and my work kids too.
It says Monopoly Deal is fun. The card version of Monopoly, we played it with your brother. It doesn't matter. So, but like, there's tons of things like that. I would also suggest though. I love like old Mario games. Like they have them new on the Switch and stuff, like Nintendo. Super Mario.
Or Tetris. Tetris doing 2-player and like competing is super
Dr.
fun.
Mario.
Cards Against Humanity. Yeah.
Cards Against Humanity.
With my brother
too. Things like that. So just go find, like, I love having like portable things. So Monopoly, like the big game, is hard to take places, but I get decks of things and we'll just put them in our car and have them. It's so much fun. It is delightful. So I love that you asked this question.
Yeah, good question.
And if you're listening right now and have different things that you can add, pop it into the Facebook feed or whatever, and read the last question though. We had one more.
Okay, it says, hi all, my husband and I are starting to prepare for trying to have our first baby. We're prepping financially and logistically as best we can, but mainly physically, spiritually, and emotionally. Do any of you mamas out there have advice for me or my husband for this stage? Anything you wish you known before you can conceive the first time, and so on. I'm researching a lot of the medical, physiological side of getting my body physically healthy for pregnancy, and I'm struggling on the emotional, mental, spiritual side of getting things. I want to be a mama, but I'm terrified in the thought of losing my current way of living without the responsibility of taking care of a tiny human being. Any advice in helping me get to a place of humility and unselfish love living would be greatly appreciated. Thanks.
So she's afraid to have a baby and how to prepare for that.
Yeah.
So this is what I really like this question. Thank you for asking it. And I'm going to just share a little bit. Before we had kids, I wasn't necessarily worried about how having a child would change my life. I was absolutely freaking terrified of vaginal birth. I was like, I will die. Like
Dead.
it was dead, gone. It was terrifying to me. And so I want to say I survived 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. I'm still here. And so I think it's important, like some of the things we think will be scary, or I mean, my births were great too. I had our kids like
Boom,
that.
baby.
So I think your fear, I want you to do this. I want you to swap your fear for joy and hope. Like, change. I'm terrified to change my way of living. I don't know what I'm going to do. It's going to be so hard. I'm going to be a bad mom or whatever. And go, it's going to be exciting to step into a new phase.
Mm-hmm.
Like, switch it. Switch what it is. Switch how you talk about it, how you think about it. And like, you feel that, oh man, I'm afraid of this.
Mm-hmm.
Switch it to, it's going to be so cool to learn about having a child. What?
So let's normalize this a little bit. You're here because of a mother,
Yeah.
right? And we're all here because of a mother. Billions and billions and billions of times over, right? You don't know the strength that you have just yet.
Preach.
But after you have that little kid, you're going to be like, I am freaking superwoman, and our bodies are beautifully made, and I am awesome. So for the dad's perspective, and you know what? All this stuff takes care of itself. Emotionally, physical, spiritually. You will be like, where is this strength coming from? And it's coming from zillions of years of programming and like instinctual knowledge that you can't even believe that you even have, which is totally rad. Hold on. Let's see. Christina says...
Holy H word.
Can we cuss? Can we say like H and
I don't
A
know.
at least?
I'm trying to impress Dave Ramsey and his group.
Okay. Oh, holy hell. Yeah, I almost did die having our second one. I thank God the second one was a lot easier.
Christina, you were not supposed to write that. We are trying to keep people happy over here.
Okay, and the reality of that does happen. It's psychological. It helped me to think about the millions and millions of people that have done childbirth before. They were fine, and people continue to have babies. Exactly. We have this. Don't be sorry, Christina. We're just messing. Here's the thing with becoming a parent. First off, kudos to you for prepping, but no matter what you do, you'll never be totally ready, but you will learn, you will survive, and you will be totally strong and empowered. Moms are amazing and powerful beings, and you are going to be one of them. Yes. Josh says, fear that leads to the reverence and to the taking parenting seriously is a healthy and great thing.
That's a good
Yes,
point.
it is. You're not going to take this seriously because you have a kid, you're an alien. You are an alien. You have an alien in your body.
What happened? I
just can't imagine that inside
it's pretty amazing.
me. Yeah.
So one of the things I want to say too, and this is going to sound unrelated for a moment, but preparing, you do not need all the baby stuff you think you need.
No.
First off, I'm going to say that. I want you to think of someone who lives in another place, another part of this world that is not, maybe has as much stuff as Americans have. You can have a baby in a cave. You can have a baby and ride a
Millions of
motorcycle.
people have.
Like, you do not need all the crap that Target thinks you need. And by the way, you should listen to how Target figures out that you're pregnant before you even know. It's pretty trippy.
Scary.
But I just want to really say, you have everything within you to do this. Like Seth said, you have a power and a strength within you already. It's like a God-given, and I don't mean like Christian God-given. It's like innate universe juice. It's like in us. Like we have it already. And a good example of that is if you are already a parent and something bad has almost happened to your child, you become superhuman. Like one time Hattie was hiding under the bed, but I thought she had this was when she was tiny. I could not find her. We looked under I could not find her. And I jumped a 5-foot fence in one bound. I was like Superwoman because I was like, where's my kid? You changed. And so just know you have all the stuff in you already.
Yeah.
And I would really encourage you every time you feel that fear of, oh my gosh, what if changing this pattern, blah, 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 turn it into excitement, turn it into curiosity. And these phases are phases. You do not stay, hold on. So when your child is little, and they need like diapers and constant nursing and they don't sleep, that phase is a phase. It's temporary. It doesn't last forever. And then when they're a toddler, that's a phase. It's temporary. It doesn't last forever. When your kid is 10 and 11, like ours are, it's totally different. You're not wiping butts anymore.
Right.
You can go have a margarita with your friends. You can have a margarita with your friends when your kids are there. Like, it's a totally different vibe. So I want to really encourage
your kid a margarita.
That it's a phase. It's not lifelong. It's hard to. It's so scary. It's just like overwhelming to think of it. But it's a temporary phase.
Yeah, and people change. Change is good. You're going to accept it and kick some butt. Let's see.
How does Target know you're pregnant before you do? Oh man, it's trippy. It knows, it like uses algorithms to look at what you're shopping for. When people start buying unscented lotions, and like it does all the math and it can tell you. I mean, it's trippy.
Then you get Target ads.
You'll get
So I think it's Faith Blair, but I read it as Faye the Blair.
Faye the Blair.
Faye the Blair. Epidurals are nice too.
Oh yeah, sure I had epidurals with all three of our. Seth almost fainted when I got mine.
Yeah.
Come out with a needle the size of Canada and go, hey, bend over.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Okay, all right, we're wrapping this up. We love you guys. Thank you. Hope this podcast is helpful today. We covered a lot of stuff, and you guys were awesome in your interaction. So, yes, Faith. I thought so. So I want you to have an awesome Wednesday.
Faith the Blair.
Join us tomorrow, Thursday. Remember to go to audibletrial.com/anatomy of marriage. And one last plug. July 25th, we are going to party. I hope a lot of people go there, and if they don't, I'm still going to party.
Seth won't tell you where it is because he wants you to go to the Eventbrite to sign up.
You have to sign up. That's helpful.
So he's intentionally not telling you where our AOM meetup is in Seattle, so that you go to the Eventbrite and sign up, because you can't. It's going to be packed if you don't sign up. There won't be room for you because Seattle is really busy anyway.
And it's on a Thursday, which like party
Thursday
night.
is the new Friday.
Yeah, Wednesday. Okay.
But anyway, really quickly, I want to say thank you so much for joining us. Please share the show. So I want you to rate and review it on iTunes. That is super helpful. We'll read your review on the podcast. But one of the biggest and most important things is that you share the show with new people, with your friends,
That's right.
with your family, if you think they can deal, if you've got cool family members. But please share the show. We need to get the word out about this. It's helping people all over the world, and we want it to help even more people. We want healthy relationships, healthy families, all that jazz.
All day long. So a lot of new people on Instagram Live today. Hello. Welcome to see you. Share the show.
Yeah.
Do it, please. Awesome.
Please share the show.
All right. Love you guys, and talk to you tomorrow.
Bye. Have a good day. Bye. It was a long ep.
It was a long ep.
Long ep.
Thanks, guys, both of you, for... I don't know why I'm speaking in the microphone every single time.
Both of you.
Thank
Facebook
both Instagram and Facebook. Thanks, guys. You're awesome. See you tomorrow. Kill the day.
Don't kill the day. Live the day.
Crush the day.